that I got just today. I ordered it right when we started to have to kind of learn from home, and a student in 4th grade, Charlie E., thanks Charlie, showed me this book that he got from the library. And I read it and I thought, oh, this is perfect. And I was like, I gotta get it, I gotta get it, I gotta get it. And I kept forgetting. And now I finally tried to get it, and it took forever because I think everybody wants this book right now because it really fits in with what is going on in the world. And with no further ado, this is the book. It is called Ruby Finds a Worry. See it there? Frank's gonna listen too. And I just love this book. And there's some great pictures in here. Here is Ruby. Ruby finds a worry. And the front of the book too says, what do you do when a worry won't leave you alone? So let's find out about Ruby. Ruby loved being Ruby. She loved to swing up high. She loved to explore wild, faraway places. Sometimes she even went all the way to the very bottom of the garden. Ruby was perfectly happy until one day. She discovered a worry. It wasn't a very big worry. In fact, it was so small that at first Ruby hardly noticed it. But then the worry started to grow. Each day it got a little bigger. I'm noticing Ruby's face. She doesn't seem bothered by the worry here. In this picture down here, she has a grumpy face, like she's mad. And then this picture, she kind of looks nervous a little bit. Her mouth is a little wiggly. It just wouldn't leave her alone. It wasn't there at breakfast. It was there at breakfast, staring at her over the cereal box. And it was still there at night when she brushed her teeth. Again, her face here is a little bit maybe nervous or kind of annoyed, and this one when she's brushing her teeth is very annoyed and mad. She's got a scowl on her face. The funny thing was that no one else could see Ruby's worry, not even her teacher. So Ruby pretended that she couldn't see it either. Now I want you to notice something. I hope you can see this. Everyone is working on their work. Notice something about Ruby's page. It's blank. Her worry is filling up her head that she can't even work. Okay? Everybody else is working on their butterfly paintings except for Ruby. But no one knows that she's feeling that worry. She tried to carry on as if everything was normal, but it wasn't. The worry was always there, stopping her from doing the things that she loved. The worry has gotten pretty big. Ruby wondered if the worry would ever go away. What if it didn't? What if it stayed with her forever? Ruby didn't realize it, but she was doing the worst thing you can ever do with a worry. She was worrying about it. She's doing a piano recital and she's thinking about her worry instead of focusing on her work, maybe making her mess up a little bit. She's worried while she's riding a bike. She's worried at her birthday. It's a lot of worrying. Now the worry was enormous. It could barely fit in the kitchen at dinner time. It filled up half the school bus. And it took up whole rows at the movie theater. The worry became the only thing that Ruby could think about, and it seemed like she would never feel happy again. That's the thing about worries, that they just take over our minds and kind of flip our lids to the point where we just can't think about anything else but that worry. Now, she's not doing anything to hurt anybody else or pushing or shoving or calling people names. She's not doing that kind of flipped lid stuff, but she's not doing her schoolwork. She's not talking about what's going on with her, and she seems very sad, right? She's worried that she'll never feel happiness again. That's a flipped lid feeling too. Flipped lids don't always show in aggression or being mean or shouting. Sometimes a flipped lid looks very sad. Then one day, something unexpected happened. Ruby noticed a boy sitting alone at the park. He looked how she felt. Sad. He looked how she felt. We've talked about that before. Empathy, right? You can look at someone and understand how they're feeling because you have felt that same way, or you can put yourself in that person's shoes. But Ruby is feeling empathy for this boy because she feels the same. He looked how she felt, sad. And then she noticed something else, something hovering next to him. Could it be a worry? He is looking very sad on that bench. It was. Ruby realized that she wasn't the only person with a worry after all. Other people had them too. She asked the boy what was on his mind. As he told her, the strangest thing happened. His worry began to shrink. Why do you think his worry is shrinking? What are they doing? Then Ruby did the best thing you can ever do if you have a worry. She talked about it. As the words tumbled out, Ruby's worry began to shrink until it was barely there at all. It's tiny. Soon both of their worries were gone. It's a very pretty picture, isn't it? Finally, Ruby felt like herself again. Of course, that wasn't the last time she ever had a worry. Everyone gets them from time to time. But now that she knew how to get rid of them, they never hung around for very long. So, how did she get rid of her worry? She talked about it, right? She found someone who looked how she felt, and they talked about their worries, and both of their worries disappeared. Now, a lot of times we don't want to talk about our feelings. We don't want to talk about our worries. And if we don't, that's when things bottle up, and sometimes that you can flip your lid, and maybe it's not just sadness that shows when you flip your lid. Maybe your worries grow into anger. Sometimes your worries can make you feel angry. And that's okay, but you got to make sure you take care of yourself, because if you don't, then you might not feel good for a really long time. And that's something Miss Rikki that's her job at school, right? Is to help you talk about your feelings and your worries. I wanted to read to you what the author of this book is Tom Percival. I'm probably saying that wrong. He says, "Dear reader, this is a book about a girl who can't get rid of a worry. Everyone worries about things from time to time, and it can be hard to stop. Very true. Even though we can't see our worries like Ruby can, they're there with us. Ignoring them can sometimes make them worse. So here are a few questions to ask yourself when you think you have a worry stuck to you. Okay, so you can ask yourself, what am I feeling? Is it sad, angry, anxious, or nervous, or all three? Worries can make us feel sad, worries can make us feel angry, and worries can make us feel nervous or anxious. The second question is, what could be causing me to feel this way? What's a worry that you're having? It can be anything, right? Sometimes people worry about something as what's going to happen later in the day, right? If we don't know what the plan is, sometimes we worry about what's going to happen. So what is it that's making you feel that way? Maybe it's a test, or maybe it's homework, or maybe it's you worry about your parents or yourself. A worry can be anything. And last one, who can I talk to about it? Right? At school, you have lots of people you could talk to about it. Your teacher, me, maybe a friend. Just like Ruby did when she found her friend, they talked about it. Who can you talk to about it at home? Who can you talk to about your worries? Mom, dad, grandma, grandpa, an aunt, an uncle, a brother or a sister. Maybe a brother or sister has worries that they can talk to you about too. So who can I talk to about it? No matter what you're feeling, remember that it always helps to talk about it. Be open, be honest, be you. Love, Tom. Be open, be honest, be you, right? It's okay to have a worry, but you got to make sure you take care of it and talk about it, right? We got to recognize the worry. Why are you feeling sad, anxious or nervous or angry? What is it coming from? What is the worry? Maybe it's you forgot maybe it was something at school. Sometimes kids worry about this at school. Maybe you forgot who was going to pick you up at the end of the day, if you're going to get picked up, ride the bus, or go to fun club, right? Maybe you forgot, and that's something that you're worried about all day. You can't do your schoolwork because you're thinking about, where am I supposed to go after school? That's a worry. And you think about it, it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. Maybe you cry, maybe you get angry. Everybody handles it different, right? Who can you talk to about it? Maybe you ask your teacher, say, I forgot. I can't remember where I'm supposed to go after school. And your teacher or Peggy and Gail in the office can help you find your way. But we don't know that you have that worry until you talk about it. I've said it before and I'll say it again. We can't read minds. And so it's super important that you take the time to talk about what you're thinking and feeling. We can't read your mind. So you got to make sure that you talk about it. I know it's hard sometimes. Sometimes it's hard to talk about how we feel, or even to recognize what is making us feel worried, right? And that's something that maybe an adult at home can help you understand, or Miss Rikki. And if you need to reach out and let me know that you're having some worries that you need some help with, I can help you with that. Worries are okay. We just have to make sure that we don't worry about them so much that they get so big, like Ruby's got so big, and she didn't know if she would ever feel like herself. Did she feel like herself again? She sure did. She felt really good at the end because she learned how to help her worries, how to help get rid of her worries. They still came back sometimes. I still have worries sometimes. Right now we have a lot of things that other people are worrying about, right? And a lot of it's out of our control. sometimes our worries are completely out of our control. And if we hold that worry in, that's when it just gets bigger. So we got to make sure we talk about it. I absolutely love this book. I'm sure I will read it to you again sometime. And I am so happy that I got to share it with you. Thank you again, Charlie, for recommending it to me. It is a wonderful find. And I hope that you guys have a great rest of your day. Please give yourself a big bear hug and say, I am smart, I am kind, and I am important, because you are smart, you are kind, and you are so important. I miss you guys so much, and I hope you have a wonderful day.